as the night shrouds Jeongju City. Suddenly, the city's tranquility is shattered by an explosion of purple lightning, striking the central tower. A massive rift tears open above the city, from which an ancient, powerful warrior emerges. In response, the city's defenders, known as the 3rd Division, spring into action. This elite team, arrayed in battle gear, charges forward with determination etched on their faces. The depths of the rift, a powerful creature voices disdain, remarking on the humans' futile resistance. The creature identified as Huang Jin, a wolf king, expresses confidence in their inevitable victory, declaring that eradicating humanity is only a matter of time. As the 3rd Division makes a desperate stand, with determination in their eyes, they counterattack, despite the overwhelming might of the enemy. Amidst the ongoing battle, a key member of the 3rd Division questions if they are dealing with a C-class portal, hinting at the unexpected strength of their enemies. The battle escalates as the Wolf King, unfazed by human resistance, declares it's too late for any realizations. One brave warrior takes a stand, insisting on handling the Wolf King personally. This allows her comrades to focus on the remaining threats. Mr. Wenyuan, a pivotal ally, arrives just in time. Back at headquarters, an official notes the alarming frequency of C-class rifts appearing over Jeongju. This marks the 6th such event in a decade. In response, the decision is made to adapt the training and assessment of the city's defenders. The cultural exam scores for martial arts students will be halved, recognizing the need for more combat-ready individuals in the face of these recurrent threats. As the class in Jeongju's martial arts school is dismissed, the students engage in typical schoolyard banter. Inside, the conversations continue, revolving around academic pressures now intertwined with martial capabilities. A student laments the missed opportunity to sit next to Lin Yanren, a particularly admired classmate. Lin Yanren becomes the center of attention, not just for her beauty, but also as a symbol of the martial arts path. As peers inquire about her future plans, the Academy of Literature and the Martial Arts University is more than academic. It's about choosing a life path in a world where martial prowess can determine one's safety and status. Su Bai sits in the classroom, deep in thought, his book open but his mind elsewhere, faced with the decision of his future educational path. He recognizes that his average academic performance won't stand out at the Academy of Literature, and in a world increasingly defined by martial prowess, the relevance of traditional education seems diminished, caught between aspirations and realities. Su Bai discusses his family's financial limitations and the lack of any special talents, which make the option of attending the martial arts university seem unreachable. His frustration is palpable as he questions the fairness of a system that seems to favor those with inherent abilities or resources. As he engages in a wistful conversation with his peers, Su Bai muses about the concept of talent awakening in another world, hoping for a scenario where he could have special powers or a significant edge. In a surprising turn of events, Lin Yanren approaches Su Bai with an unexpected proposal. Sensing his despair and frustration with the limited options available due to his lack of special abilities or financial resources, Lin offers him an opportunity to join her at the Academy of Literature without needing to pass the traditional entrance exams. This gesture not only provides Su Bai a possible path forward, but also deepens their relationship. As Su Bai processes this unexpected lifeline, his world is further turned upside down by the sudden activation of a personal system, a common trope in fantasy and martial arts narratives where the protagonist gains access to a unique set of skills or abilities through a digital interface. This system classifies him as a beast tamer and provides detailed stats about his capabilities, including the potential to evolve his talents infinitely. Overwhelmed and unsure, Su Bai stands at the cusp of a new beginning, his previous concerns about his future momentarily overshadowed by the new and mysterious opportunities that the system might offer him. As Su Bai tries to comprehend the sudden appearance of a system interface only he can see, Lin Yanren concerned for his sudden distress. Despite his assurances that he's fine, the situation quickly escalates when a jealous classmate, infuriated by Su Bai's proximity to Lin, confronts them aggressively. As the classmate threatens to teach Su Bai a lesson, driven by of envy and misplaced loyalty towards Lin. The escalating conflict in the classroom is swiftly interrupted by the arrival of a formidable teacher, who commands immediate silence. She brings with her exciting news for the students, effective immediately. Individuals who have awakened their abilities can enroll directly at Jeonju Martial Arts University without the need to pass the cultural exam. Additionally, the cutoff score for the literature exam has been halved for those with the potential to become martial artists, significantly easing the academic burden on students aiming to pursue a path in martial arts. This announcement offers a new horizon for Su Bai and his classmates, potentially altering their educational and professional futures. With the announcement of the new education policy, excitement ripples through the classroom. Students chatter about the lowered exam requirements and the new opportunities for those with awakened abilities. As the teacher offers immediate registration for awakened students, Lin Yanren and Su Bai share a significant glance. Lin speculates about the possibilities this new path could open for Su Bai, hinting at a future where he might not only attend the martial arts university but also rise to prominence within it. Su Bai walking confidently through the city streets, a mere high school student to a potential martial arts contender, setting the stage for his journey in a world where academic and martial prowess are intertwined with one's destiny. On September 18, 1906, a massive spatial rift opened in the sky above Jeonju, changing the course of history. From this rift, a host of terrifying monsters emerged, wreaking havoc across the city. The creatures were relentless, their attacks causing widespread destruction and chaos. As the situation grew increasingly dire, the armies of various countries mobilized, launching a concerted effort to combat these monstrous invaders. The battles were fierce and prolonged, with significant losses on all sides, but eventually, the combined military forces managed to repel the monsters. This event marked a pivotal moment for Jeonju, highlighting the city's vulnerability to supernatural threats and the global community's capacity to respond to such unprecedented crises. Despite repeated military efforts to contain the threat, the persistent rift continued to spawn monsters, prompting a drastic measure. Recognizing the relentless nature of the threat, a daring decision was made to send a suicide squad into the rift to gather intelligence and explore its origins. Inside, they discovered an expansive and boundless land, suggesting a complex network of worlds beyond their own. Faced with the enormity of this discovery, the world's militaries united to construct a formidable military base directly within the rift. This strategic move aimed to fortify humanity's defenses, allowing forces to engage the monsters at the source and potentially control or even close the rift. This base represents humanity's resilience and commitment to safeguarding their world from the continuous onslaught of extraterrestrial dangers. A new era for humanity officially began with the appearance of additional rifts in the sky. Following the first rift in 1906, a second and third rift appeared in quick succession by 1907, and soon more followed. Over the century, these rifts grew more frequent, each introducing a unique breed of monsters, leading scientists to name the interconnected dimensions behind the rifts the battlefield of 10,000 races. As these rifts proliferated, so did the battles and the species of monsters emerging from them. This ongoing war necessitated global cooperation, resulting in the construction of military bases within the rifts to combat the threats directly at their source. Interestingly, alongside the physical battles, a transformation occurred within humanity itself. The spiritual energy of Earth began to rise, awakening latent abilities in humans, giving rise to a new era of martial artists and superpowered individuals. As the intensity of the battles escalated, traditional weaponry began to fall short, replaced by the power of these newly awakened beings. This ongoing war between humans and the myriad of alien races from the rifts has continued to the present day, profoundly impacting every aspect of life on Earth, including educational reforms like those seen at Jeonju Martial Arts University, indicating the severity and widespread nature of this global crisis. Su Bai, having activated a system that grants him the ability to tame beasts, decides to harness this newfound power to safeguard his family in a world increasingly fraught with danger. Recognizing the urgency to enhance his abilities, he resolves to attend a martial arts university backed by the military, which would not only provide him with the training he needs, but also place him in a position to directly contribute to humanity's defense against the rifts. Fortunately, Su Bai's special ability to tame beasts qualifies him for admission without the need for traditional exams, a boon that aligns perfectly with the recent educational reforms. Armed with his savings of more than 2,000 coins, he approaches the university with determination, hopeful that his financial resources will be sufficient to cover any additional expenses. As he steps into the university, he remembers that his system is supposed to automatically detect and guide him towards suitable opportunities. Yet, upon entering, nothing happens, leaving him momentarily confused. He approaches the reception, seeking guidance on how to proceed, a tangible step towards realizing his dream of becoming a protector not just for his family, but for his city as well. Upon entering the university, Su-bai, declaring his newfound ability as a beast tamer, inquires about the types of beasts available for taming. He's directed to several options, each with varying prices and capabilities. The first beast he considers is a common black cat with a netherworld sliver bloodline, priced at 36,000 yen, which he finds prohibitively expensive given his savings. His attention then shifts to a 4-eared dog, which boasts a 6-eared demon wolf bloodline and comes at a slightly lower cost of 33,000 yen. Still exploring his options, he's shown more beasts, including one priced at 56,000 yen and another at 90,000 yen, escalating his dilemma as he balances the potential of each beast against the financial constraints he faces. Confronted with these high prices, Su-bai realizes that his savings might not stretch as far as he had hoped, putting him in a position to make strategic decisions about which beast might offer the best balance of cost and potential for his journey as a martial artist. Frustrated by the high prices at the university and feeling like the options available are ripping him off, Su-bai returns home. There, he expresses his discontent with how expensive each beast is just for their bloodline. Upon his return, Su-bai's mysterious system, which had been unresponsive until now, suddenly activates and proposes an unexpected taming opportunity: a small turtle. At first, Su-bai is taken aback and even amused that the system suggests taming a turtle, especially since it turns out to be the very turtle his father has been raising. This revelation brings a moment of comic relief and a touch of irony to his journey. Despite the initial surprise and seeming triviality of the beast, this twist might hint at hidden potentials or qualities in the turtle that are not immediately apparent. This situation sets the stage for Su-bai to explore and perhaps uncover unique abilities that could significantly aid him in his quest to protect his family and thrive in a chaotic world. After his initial shock and amusement at the prospect of taming a seemingly unremarkable turtle, Su-bai reassesses the situation. His system highlights the turtle's potential, revealing it as an ordinary beginner-level creature with a latent bloodline that can evolve infinitely and eventually attain formidable capabilities. Intrigued by this revelation, Su-bai decides to embrace the challenge, tapping into his newfound ability to see beyond the surface and explore the unique advantages his first tamed beast might offer. Choosing to accept the turtle as his ally, Su-bai's attitude shifts from skepticism to curiosity and determination. He commits to enhancing the turtle's abilities, utilizing the system's guidance to unlock and maximize its potential. This decision not only marks the start of his journey as a beast tamer, but also symbolizes his growth in adapting to the challenges of his new abilities and the realities of a world where the supernatural becomes an everyday element of survival and combat. Su-bai's initial skepticism about his first tamed beast, a turtle, quickly transforms into delight as he discovers its potential. The turtle, affectionately named Zio-ba, turns out to possess the Xuanwu holy bloodline. Despite its humble appearance and size, Su-bai recognizes the turtle's significant potential and decides it's worth far more than he initially thought, refusing to consider replacing it for anything else. At home, Su-bai's enthusiasm about his new beast is met with protective suspicion from his sister, Su-zayomai, who asserts her attachment to Zio-ba, referring to it as "daddy's baby." As Su-bai and his sister interact with Zio-ba, the turtle unexpectedly demands food, revealing a more lively and engaging personality than Su-bai anticipated. Su-bai's situation escalates as Zio-ba, the seemingly unremarkable turtle, reveals a ravenous appetite that surprises everyone, including Su-bai and his sister Zayomai. When Su-bai notes the turtle's insatiable hunger, he speculates it might be a sign of impending evolution, hinting at the turtle's hidden potential linked to its holy bloodline. As Su-bai scrambles to find more food to satiate Zio-ba's hunger, the situation at home becomes chaotic. The turtle's appetite leads to an uproarious scene, leaving the house in disarray. Return home to what appears to be the aftermath of a robbery, only to find it's their son's new pet causing the commotion. Each family member's reaction, ranging from amusement to bewilderment, paints a vivid picture of life with a magically endowed pet. Su-bai quickly realized that the shadow of his ability had disappeared instantly, and the black tortoise bloodline was still dormant but consuming more energy. With that in mind, he decided to head towards a place. Arriving at a building with a distinctive dragon emblem, he entered. Inside, a familiar woman greeted him, asking if he had finally decided on his purchase. However, Su-bai made it clear this time, he wasn't here to buy anything. Leaning in close, he quietly asked if they accepted exotic beast blood. This immediately caught the attention of a well-dressed man sitting nearby. Surprised, the man questioned whether Su-bai really had such a valuable resource. The man gave a nod of approval, allowing the woman to proceed as Su-bai stood ready. With a casual gesture, the man then invited Su-bai to sit and discuss further. Curious, he requested to examine the exotic beast blood first. Su-bai, confident in its quality, agreed without hesitation. Taking a small vial, the man carefully inspected it. Realizing the authenticity and superior quality of the beast blood, he immediately asked how much Su-bai was willing to sell. Su-bai calculated the effort it took to extract the beast blood. Considering its worth, he expected at least 100 yuan. However, when the man casually offered 1,000 yuan, Su-bai was visibly shocked. His reaction made the man smirk, realizing Su-bai had a good understanding of the product's value. But before the deal could be sealed, the man suddenly laughed, revealing he was just joking. Given the exceptional quality of the beast blood, he corrected himself. The real price was 10,000 yuan. Hearing this, Su-bai was even more stunned. Just as he was about to react, the man continued, offering a final price of 15,000 yuan, making it clear he couldn't go any higher. Su-bai couldn't believe his blood was worth so much. He struggled to hide his excitement, but the thought of earning that much made it impossible to suppress his smile. Without hesitation, he agreed to the deal, though he casually remarked that if he weren't in urgent need of money, he wouldn't have sold it so easily. As he left, the man reminded him to return if he ever had more high-quality goods. Su-bai walked away, feeling satisfied. Checking his balance, he still couldn't believe it. Selling the exotic beast blood for 15,000 yuan meant he could sustain himself for a while now. As Su-bai walked, he received a call from his teacher, informing him that the academic results were out, and there was important news. He was instructed to come to school that afternoon to complete his application. However, before he could get more details, the signal cut out. Frustrated by the sudden loss of connection, he tried calling back, but had no luck. Just then, a warning screen appeared before him, detecting hostile intent nearby. It identified 3 enemies within range, all targeting him. Realizing he was being ambushed, Su-bai quickly turned around. One of the attackers was already approaching, gripping a large spiked club while grinning menacingly. Their leader confidently assumed he had something valuable after seeing the pet store owner's reaction. Without hesitation, he demanded Su-bai hand it over. Trying to reason with them, Su-bai explained that he only sold items, not bought them. Yet, luck was clearly not on his side. He quickly assessed the situation. Only one of them was a primary warrior, which meant he had a chance. Confidence sparked in his eyes. He wasn't afraid. However, the thug laughed at his expression, mocking his supposed cowardice and demanding the money. Su-bai appeared to surrender, curling up slightly, as if preparing to comply. He suddenly made his move, pretending to surrender, but instead hurling his turtle companion straight at the bald thug. Caught off guard, the thug quickly raised his weapon to strike, but the unexpected attack threw him off balance. His eyes widened in shock as he realized too late this was a trap. Panic took over as he let out a terrified scream. Su-bai took advantage of the opening, delivering a powerful counterattack that sent the bald thug flying. The force was so strong that it even made the thug imagine an egg cracking in his head. His 2 subordinates panicked and rushed to his aid, furious that Su-bai had dared to lay a hand on their boss. Without hesitation, they charged at him, weapons in hand. But Su-bai used his turtle companion's defense to shield himself. One of the attackers lunged, thinking he had Su-bai cornered. But Su-bai swiftly reacted, grabbing his fist mid-air, ready for the next move. He struck the incoming attacker, sending him flying backward. The second thug barely had time to react before he, too, was slammed into the ground. The bald leader, now regaining his footing, roared in fury. His face twisted with rage as he crawled forward, vowing to kill Su-bai. Su-bai quickly prepared to retreat. He called out to his turtle companion, signaling to pull back before things escalated further. With precise movements, he countered the bald thug's charge, flipping him over and sending him crashing hard into the ground. The thug howled in pain, his earlier confidence shattered. Subai stood tall, looking down at his fallen enemies. They had provoked him, and now they were paying the price. Just as he was about to leave, he noticed something strange. His turtle companion had somehow ended up next to the unconscious thug. Subai noticed his turtle companion holding something glowing in its mouth. Curious, he rushed over, questioning what it had found. Before he could react, the turtle tossed the object into the air. Subai caught it, realizing it was a Kai and blood potion, an incredibly valuable item worth tens of thousands. Shocked, he muttered that warriors typically absorb this potion over an entire month. Yet, his turtle had consumed it all in one go. He stared at the creature, now radiating energy, wondering if it could even handle such a massive boost. Subai's eyes widened as he felt a surge of power coursing through his body. His entire being radiated energy this time. The feeling of growing stronger was overwhelming. A system screen appeared before him, detailing his updated stats. His tamed beast's evolution had increased his attributes significantly, even granting him a new talent. Checking the turtle's stats, Subai was shocked its physique and defense had skyrocketed. The turtle had also grown in size, its shell now radiating with power. The Kai and blood potion had caused an immense transformation, leaving Subai stunned at how much both he and his beast had advanced. Subai recalled what he had learned in class. Normal high-level strength type exotic beasts usually only reached 30 in stats. Yet, his turtle was already exceeding that without even activating its full potential. Realizing the incredible potential his companion had, Subai decided it was time to leave. He patted the turtle, telling it they needed to get moving. Meanwhile, back at school, the academic results had been released, and it was time to submit applications. However, there was also a major announcement. Tomorrow, a special admissions teacher from Marshall University would arrive to conduct an ability test. This was a rare opportunity, as only 2 students would be guaranteed a spot. In class, Lin Yanren asked Subai if he had decided between the Humanities Institute or Marshall University. Without hesitation, he declared that he must get into Marshall University. Surprised, she reminded him that she had asked him to apply to the Humanities Institute with her. Marshall University sends students to the battlefield. It's dangerous, and she was clearly worried. She hesitated, bringing up his grades, implying that he might not be suited for such a path. But Subai remained firm. Someone had to go to the front lines, and he saw it as a good thing. With a confident smile, he revealed his real reason: he wanted to protect someone important. Lin Yanren's heart skipped a beat as she wondered, could he be talking about her? In the classroom, the teacher asks Lin Yanren which institution she plans to apply to. She hesitates, considering her options. A classmate assumes she'll choose the Humanities Institute since she hasn't awakened any abilities or trained physically. Still undecided, Lin Yanren responds that she needs more time to think. Meanwhile, the teacher emphasizes the importance of this decision, instructing students to take their report cards home, discuss with their parents, and submit their applications by tomorrow. As the school day ends, the announcement echoes schools out. The students acknowledge the teacher before heading out. As Lin Yanren relaxes in a medicinal bath, she calls Subai. She announces her decision: she's applying to Marshall University. She hints at a surprise, leaving Subai stunned. Subai, in the middle of training, can't believe what he just heard. He questions if she's serious, but Lin Yanren affirms her choice without hesitation. Not wanting to drag out the conversation, Subai ends the call, saying he has urgent matters to handle. The students gathered as an announcer introduced the military martial arts instructor, Zhang Kai, welcoming him to the stage. A woman addressed the students, explaining that Zhang Kai wasn't just an instructor, he was also their principal and a respected senior. Taking the microphone, Zhang Kai immediately reminded them of the academy's brutal reality, revealing past survival rates. A year ago, 126 students had joined, but only 65 remained. The numbers from previous years were even worse: less than half of each group had survived. 3 years ago, out of 86 students, only 11 were still alive. He made it clear that he wasn't trying to scare them, but to ensure they understood the truth. Being part of this academy wasn't something to celebrate, it was a constant fight to stay alive. Subai listening as the speech continued. The challenges ahead were clear: duty, responsibility, and the danger of protecting their nation. The instructor then addressed the crowd, reinforcing the academy's purpose. Wuda was a place where the strong were forged. He asked if they aspired to be part of the elite, and the students responded with a unified roar of determination. Satisfied with their enthusiasm, the instructor expressed his anticipation for their performance in the entrance exam. Jiang Kai called out to Subai. He turned, acknowledging the call, while Lin Yanren observed from the side. Approaching him, Jiang Kai confirmed his identity and informed him that a spot had been reserved for him at Wuda. He was instructed to head there immediately and prepare for the entrance examination. Subai was shocked to hear that a reserved spot had been arranged for him. He couldn't believe it, but the instructor confirmed that a vehicle was waiting to take him to the academy's entrance. Meanwhile, other students reacted with surprise and frustration. Some called it favoritism, while others wished they were in his place, envious of the special treatment. Shortly after, the students arrived at Wuda. The instructor announced their arrival, instructing them to disembark. As they stood outside, the instructor called for the students to follow, signaling the beginning of their journey at Wuda. As Subai and the students explored Wuda, they came across a towering stone pillar engraved with the school's motto. The inscription spoke of unwavering honor and dedication to the nation. Subai was impressed by its grandeur, while another student explained its significance. The instructor then led the group forward, guiding them to collect their uniforms before heading to the dormitories. Once there, she directed the male students to their designated area, informing them that they would soon receive further instructions regarding the examination. Subai acknowledged her guidance before heading inside. Reaching his assigned room, Subai reflected on the importance of resources in martial arts training. Inside the dormitory, a red-haired student showed off a rare bottle of medicine, explaining that it was made from extremely rare monster blood his father had acquired. He emphasized how valuable it was, something most people would never see in their lifetime. The others were fascinated, some admitting they had never encountered anything like it before, while one mentioned having bought similar products, but never something this rare. At that moment, Subai entered the room, introducing himself as their new doormate in room 303. A student Han Jiagang acknowledged him, noting that now everyone was present. He then introduced the other two students Tao Jiajun, who casually greeted Subai, and Fan Keon, who gave a friendly nod. Han Jiagang's doormates welcomed Subai, telling him there was no need for formalities since they were all roommates. They showed him the rare monster blood that Han Jiagang's father had obtained, explaining that it was difficult to acquire and required extensive effort to find. Subai, while unpacking, was surprised to hear it came from Yu Mountain and wondered if he was the one who had originally sold it. He casually asked about its price, assuming it must have been expensive. Han Jiagang, however, dismissed the cost, saying each drop was only around 30,000, totaling less than 100,000, an amount he considered insignificant. Hearing this, he realized that he had originally sold it for 30,000, but someone had resold it for triple the price. Frustrated, he cursed the middlemen who had taken advantage of the deal. Inside the dormitory, Subai's roommates excitedly pointed outside, claiming there was an incredibly beautiful girl downstairs. One of them even declared that she was his pick for the upcoming beauty contest. Curious, they rushed to the window, their eyes locking onto the tall, Lai Yanren confidently walking toward the dormitory. They were mesmerized by her appearance, praising her elegance and wondering why she was there. Meanwhile, outside, the dormitory manager stopped Lin Yanren, asking about her purpose in the men's dorms. Without hesitation, she stated that she was looking for Subai. The dormitory manager called out for Subai, announcing that a beautiful girl was waiting for him outside. His roommates were stunned by the revelation, unable to believe what they had just heard. Subai, without hesitation, decided to leave, while his roommates watched in disbelief. They couldn't understand why someone as stunning as her would be looking for him. Suspicious, they started to wonder if Subai was more influential than he appeared. Outside, Lin Yanren greeted Subai, complimenting how well he looked in his uniform. He responded casually. Lin Yanren adjusted Subai's uniform, complimenting him on how good he looked. Subai was caught off guard by her sudden closeness, unsure how to respond. Meanwhile, his doormates watched from the window, completely stunned. Seeing Lin Yanren personally fixing Subai's clothes left them in disbelief. They were outraged, unable to accept that Subai was casually interacting with someone they considered a goddess. Lin Yanren then brought up the reserved spot at Wuda, asking if Subai was upset about it. He reassured her that he wasn't angry, though he had initially planned to earn his place through the entrance test. Lin Yanren thanked him sincerely, admitting she had been worried about his reaction. Subai simply smiled, placing a hand on her head, telling her there was no way he could be upset with her. Lin Yanren informed Su-bai that the entrance examination was approaching and offered him some pills to help. However, Su-bai declined, saying she had already helped him enough and should keep them for herself. Before leaving, Lin Yanren waved at Su-bai, telling him she'd see him tomorrow. Su-bai could only watch as she walked away. Meanwhile, inside the dormitory, the other students had been observing everything. Shocked that Su-bai had not only interacted closely with Lin Yanren, but had even touched her head, they were desperate to find out who he really was. Back in the dorm, Su-bai returned to a completely different atmosphere. His roommates, who were once skeptical of him, now treated him with newfound respect, calling him Brother Su and eagerly inviting him to sit with them. Su-bai's dormmates surrounded him, eager to know about his connection with Lin Yanren. He casually mentioned that they were just high school classmates, but they weren't convinced, insisting he was being too humble. Taking advantage of their newfound camaraderie, Han Jiagang suggested that since they were dormmates, Su-bai should invite Lin Yanren to bring some of her friends over. Su-bai was caught off guard, unsure how to respond. To celebrate their first meeting, Han Jiagang proposed taking Su-bai out for a good meal and a chat. The others quickly agreed, deciding to handle all the arrangements themselves while telling Su-bai to rest. As they excitedly rushed out, Su-bai was left standing there, slightly overwhelmed by how quickly their attitude toward him had changed. After his dormmates left, Su-bai reflected on how interesting they were. He then took out Little Ba, letting it stretch out and breathe. Curious about what Lin Yanren had given him earlier, Su-bai checked the package and found a blood essence potion. He smiled, realizing that it would be beneficial for his little companion Little Ba. With a mischievous grin, Su-bai teased Little Ba, asking if it knew what to do after consuming the potion. Meanwhile, his dormmates arrived at an extravagant hotel for their gathering. Su-bai was surprised at the high-end choice, questioning if it was necessary. However, Han Jiagang assured him that all he needed to do was enjoy himself and leave the rest to them. At the luxurious hotel, Han Jiagang raised a toast, expressing how fortunate he felt to have such great dormmates, especially Su-bai. The others eagerly joined in, welcoming the camaraderie. As they settled down, Su-bai mentioned his connection with Lin Yanren, casually implying that he could arrange introductions to some of her friends later. Shifting the topic, he told Jiagang that he needed his help with something. Revealing a bottle of rare monster blood, Su-bai downplayed its importance but asked for Jiagang's assistance in handling it. The others were instantly intrigued, recognizing its incredible value. Jiagang examined the blood carefully, realizing that it was of even higher quality than his own. Shocked, he admitted that he had never seen anything like it before. Han Jiagang was shocked by the rarity of Su-bai's monster blood and immediately offered to call his father for assistance. Later, Jiagang stepped aside to make the call, but his father was initially unimpressed, assuming his son had once again run out of pocket money. Jiagang quickly reassured him that this was serious. Explaining the situation, he told his father that his classmate had 7 drops of rare monster blood far superior to what they had obtained before. Unable to determine its value, he sought his father's advice. Hearing this, Jiagang's father was stunned, questioning if it was truly better than before. Jiagang swore by it, urging him to come see for himself. Without hesitation, his father instructed him to send the location, promising to dispatch Master Cow immediately. An hour later, Master Cow arrived to examine the monster blood. The moment he saw it, he was in awe, calling it the purest and most potent he had ever encountered. He excitedly declared that with such high energy content, he could create something extraordinary. Jiagang's father, still skeptical, questioned if Master Cow was exaggerating. However, Master Cow insisted that even with the finest equipment, the value of this blood would only increase. Meanwhile, Su-bai casually sipping a drink as Jiagang marveled at how overpowered his monster blood truly was. Jiagang's father inquired about the price for Su-bai's monster blood. However, Su-bai clarified that it wasn't for sale, he was only willing to exchange it for blood essence of equal value. Acknowledging their connection through Jiagang, his father assured Su-bai that he wouldn't be shortchanged. He offered to take all the monster blood in exchange for 14 bottles of blood essence, a deal that Su-bai readily accepted. With a knowing smile, Jiagang's father then made an unexpected offer. He invited Su-bai to join the Han family, promising free resources and additional benefits. Su-bai politely declined Jiagang's father's offer, stating that he had no plans to join a family for now. However, Jaegang's father tried to persuade him to reconsider. Before the discussion could continue, Lin Yanren suddenly entered the room with a commanding presence. She firmly declared that Su-bai had already made his decision and that no one had the right to pressure him into joining any family. She made herself clear her stance was non-negotiable. Su-bai was surprised to see Lin Yanren and asked why she was there. The others in the room were equally shocked, recognizing her instantly and wondering why she had suddenly appeared. Lin Yanren casually stated that she had come to take care of her own matters and hadn't expected to run into Su-bai. Meanwhile, Jaegang's father and Master Cao observed the situation closely. Jaegang's father was clearly unsettled, realizing there was something significant about her presence. As Master Cao tried to explain who she was, his expression changed to shock as he fully grasped her identity. Jaegang's father explaining that it's all a misunderstanding. He insists that Su-bai and his son are not just classmates but also close brothers. Lin Yanren asking if he's heading back to school. She suggests they go together. Su-bai nods saying he's done with his matters here and is ready to leave. Before leaving, Su-bai bids farewell to Jaegang's father and Master Cao, telling Jaegang that they'll meet back at the dorm. Jaegang's father responds, wishing him well. As Su-bai walks away with Lin Yanren, Jaegang suddenly panics and rushes forward, calling out to her, saying he's heading back too. But his father grabs him, scolding him and demanding he come back, clearly frustrated by his reaction. Jaegang's father sternly advises him to get along with Su-bai, emphasizing that the future of the Han family might depend on their relationship. Jaegang is confused by this statement, but is even more shocked when his father warns him to keep a respectable distance from Lin Yanren. Later, Jaegang questions his father, wondering why he never noticed how exceptional both Su-bai and Lin Yanren are. 2 days pass, and at the Marshall University campus training ground, the students gather for their freshman special training. The instructor announces that this session's training will take place at a significant location. The students are stunned to learn that they will be training at the battlefield of myriad races, a place filled with danger. Some voice their concerns, questioning the safety of such a decision. The instructor reassures them that while failing the training isn't a big deal, survival is what truly matters. He assures them that the designated training area has been secured and that their safety will be ensured. The instructor announces that each class will consist of 50 students, led by a bronze-level teacher who will be responsible for their training. He encourages the freshmen, wishing them success in their training. As the students are assigned to their groups, Lin Yanren excitedly informs Su-bai that they are in the same class. Nearby, Jaegang and other students react with excitement, thrilled to be in the same class as the goddess. Su-bai, however, wonders if this arrangement was intentional. A voice calls out for Class 8 to gather. A striking woman steps forward, introducing herself as Liao Yuxin, the special training instructor for the group. Liao Yuxin confidently informs the students that she will be in charge of all training tasks. As she speaks, several students are captivated by her striking appearance. Then, she announces their first task, writing a will. The students are stunned, their excitement immediately turning into panic. Some hesitate, questioning if she was serious, while others start to grasp the reality of the training. She gives them a day to complete this task, instructing them to gather at the teleportation plaza at 8 am for their departure to the battlefield of myriad races. Some students wonder if their lives are truly at risk, while others start worrying about the future. A few are left reflecting on their unfinished goals, realizing they might not return. Lin Yanren asks Su-bai about his plans before departure. He replies that he doesn't have much to prepare and plans to head back to the dorm. As they part ways, she tells him they'll meet tomorrow. Meanwhile, other students feel the pressure of the upcoming battlefield training and focus on their preparations. Later, at the dorms, a group of students invites Su-bai to join them for a fun night before their departure. However, Su-bai declines, saying he has things to take care of. Jaegang, understanding his decision, offers to bring anything back for him if needed. Su-bai acknowledges and lets them go. Jaegang notices Su-bai's pet turtle and comments on its tough shell. Su-bai introduces it as Little Bai, explaining that it's quite a foodie. As the others leave for their night out, they bid farewell to Su-bai, who stays behind. He tells them to enjoy themselves. Alone in the dorm, Su-bai prepares food for Little Bai, teasing it for always eating. He lets it feast, reminding it to prove its worth on the battlefield. Meanwhile, he prepares his own supplies, making sure everything is ready for tomorrow. Little Bai eagerly devours its meal, and Su Bai reassures it that no one will take its food away. As Su Bai feeds Little Bai, a notification appears, announcing that the tamed beast has evolved into an ordinary high-tier beast. Along with Su Bai's level increasing, Little Bai gains a new talent, Heavy Strike. A detailed status screen reveals Little Bai's improved attributes, including Constitution, Defense, and Agility. Its talents now include Shell Defense, which boosts defense when fully retracted, Turtle Skin Defense, which enhances durability at the cost of stamina, and Heavy Strike, which increases attack power depending on stamina consumption. Another screen displays Su Bai's updated stats, confirming that he, as a beast tamer, benefits from his beast's evolution. His base attributes have grown, and Little Bai's abilities will partially enhance him as well. Excited about the improvements, Su Bai acknowledges that the Blood Kai powder played a crucial role in the upgrade. He praises Little Bai, encouraging it to give its best performance in the upcoming battle. Little Bai responds confidently, ready for the challenge ahead. The preparations for battle are complete, and a report is sent to the chief instructor confirming that all students are ready. Instructors stand by as orders are given to activate the teleportation array. With a command, the massive portal begins to hum with energy. Students marvel at the enormous teleportation array, acknowledging that only Marshall University could provide such a grand sight. Before departure, Lin Yanran expresses concern for Su Bai, urging him to stay cautious on the battlefield. Su Bai reassures her with confidence, promising that they will complete their mission successfully. She nods, wishing him luck as they prepare to embark on their journey. As the teleportation process begins, Su Bai and the students step forward, preparing for the transfer. A bright glow surrounds them as the command is given. The students arrive at their destination, disoriented but amazed. Jiagang stumbles slightly, exclaiming in surprise, while others look around in awe. A student wonders if this is the military base within the battlefield of myriad races. They take in the vast structure, realizing they have truly arrived. Some are excited, marveling at the incredible technology, while others remain cautious about their new surroundings. Before the excitement can escalate, Liu Yuxin commands everyone to quiet down. She addresses a high-ranking officer, Deputy Commander Liatao, apologizing for the students' reactions, explaining that they are all new recruits who haven't seen much yet. The Deputy Commander of Military Base F-269 introduces himself, making it clear that rank doesn't matter here, everyone follows his orders. He demands acknowledgement, and the students, led by Liu Yuxin, respond in unison, affirming their understanding. As the commander addresses them, Jiagang questions why they should be impressed by a mere deputy commander. However, Su Bai observes the scar on his face, recognizing that he must be a seasoned officer. The commander then assigns their first task, cleaning the battlefield. However, it's not just about clearing debris. They must also eliminate any remaining shadow cats lurking in the area. He deems it a perfect test for new recruits stepping onto the battlefield for the first time. The deputy commander explains the reward system. Eliminating shadow cats earns merit points, which can be exchanged for valuable resources like blood kai powder and body refinement elixirs, helping students enhance their strength. Hearing this, the students become excited. Jiagang and others realize why so many risk their lives to enter the battlefield of myriad races. The opportunity to exchange merit points for potions makes the mission even more rewarding. Noticing their enthusiasm, the commander smirks, acknowledging their eagerness for action. Without wasting time, he gives the order to move out. The students respond energetically, ready to start. Su Bai, confident in his skills, looks forward to accumulating merit points. He also considers how much Little Bai will benefit from this hunt, anticipating a feast for his pet. The group arrives at a section of the base where wounded soldiers are being treated. Many are covered in injuries, fresh from battle, groaning in pain as they receive medical attention. Seeing this, the students are shocked. They question whether these injuries were caused by shadow cats, the lowest-ranked monsters. Doubt and fear spread among them. If even such weak creatures are this dangerous, how will they survive? One student panics, worrying about making it back alive. However, Liu Yuxin quickly shuts down the fear-driven murmurs, reminding them that the battlefield of myriad races is not a place for hesitation. Anyone who joined Marshall University should already be prepared for danger. Lin Yanran, feeling uneasy, tells Su Bai to stay close to her in battle, not wanting anything to happen to him. Su Bai acknowledges her concern, but he knows they must remain vigilant at all times if they want to make it through alive. A soldier reports to the deputy commander that they have been guarding the northern gate and have successfully eliminated 35 beasts that attacked the camp. Awaiting further orders, the commander decides it's time for the recruits to experience the true nature of the battlefield. With a firm command, he orders the camp gate to be opened. Liao Yuxin reminds them that this is a rare opportunity. As Deputy Commander Liatao himself is leading the team, they must prove themselves in battle. Liatao warns the recruits, having left their wills behind, they must now be prepared to walk alongside death every second from here on out.